Hey, good morning. Today we're just going to be building the look for this image. From there, we're going to probably talk about doing things at a shot by shot level, as well as how do we make that image look a little bit better. This was for a commercial that I graded, but yeah, let's think about it a little bit differently. It's one of those stock images that I use to when I want to just play around with looks. So to just be a little creative, a little bit fun, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the old Story-O-Matic. You don't know what this is, it's a fun little game, but we're going to take this girl, and instead of thinking about it in the context of the commercial, we're going to think about it in the context of this story. A person who laughs at inappropriate times, and a person who has very, very bad breath. You can also add in some context cards like a small wild animal and a blackout. Now, when we look at this image, it is currently just in DaVinci Wide Gamut. I've done nothing at the look level to really make any choices, but we can start by looking at the node tree. I usually break it up. Now that there's the 4 layers, I like the 4 layers. They're nice. We got, just our basic starting point, and then some of the other additives, and then we get up to here, and this is where we got everything that kind of comes out. So what we haven't done is transform this into something you can see. So we're going to just start with JP2499. Maybe we'll just see what OpenDRT does. Oops, OpenDRT always does that. Do we like that, or do we like JP2499? I think this was a little softer on the skin tones. Kind of like that. So this is a girl with very, very bad breath in the midst of a blackout while being chased by a wild animal. And she laughs at inappropriate times. You can imagine her sitting there like that. So we've made one of the biggest selections that we're going to make, and that's just transforming this from its log state to DaVinci Wide Gamut to picking a DRT, just to transform it to something that looks good on the monitor, as you see. From there, let's just dive in and play with a little. Show you that contrast curve. Show you what I'm doing. Let me go here. Play around. Let's give her a little bit more contrast. Because if she's a girl with bad breath, and she's running from an animal to blackout, I kind of imagine this to be a little bit more of a gritty movie. Got some more grit to it, maybe. I'm just making some adjustments here. Just working on trying to find a happy place for what that contrast curve kind of looks like. You don't want it to be. This is right here. This is what would be technically considered what we're going to do for the other shot as well. So if we were to just apply that grade over, let's see kind of where we're working on our contrast here at the top. You kind of see how it's working for both shots. Like if we turned off that curve completely, but if we bring it back in, yeah. It's doing nice things to that backpack, which for the commercial was the high point, but this is just a movie showcasing that she's writing journaling thoughts about why she has very bad breath. And we're just going to be tweaking some of that. Let's see, preserve colors, that page. Let's crank it both ways, see what we like. Is it looking good? Looking better? Oops, daisy. Undo. To hit a pen grade, yep. Black gray. So that was just getting us to the same place. Let's see what we're doing. Preserve color. Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe give it a little bit more. You think we can pump a little bit more contrast in? There's one way to find out. We can always dial it back later. Kind of push up. Stretch that a little bit more. That's got some nice sharpness to it now. Camera bobbles around a little bit. A little handheld action. I mean, it's blackout, according to the story that we came up with. Now let's talk about our density. It's kind of, so there's a lot of wood. So if we're thinking about this, yeah. What are we gonna do for blues? Blues are kind of important here. There's a lot of cyan out there in the water because it's that nice chop. Kind of liking where that's looking for the wood. So these are just a couple of these details that I like to use. I kind of like to pull out some saturation actually. Because like if we give it to it, yeah, it's crisp and bright, and that's kind of what you did. What I did for the commercial look was to give it a little bit more volume, you could say, but we're just going to pull that out a little bit. I'm going to take this in a different direction. And it's a blackout. It's gritty. We're going with a little bit more of a different vibe than what this would be if it was a commercial. A little bit in there. That. Yeah. How you liking that? Is that looking good? It's quick. It's easy. We made several choices, and all of them have been great. And the last thing we want to do is talk about maybe, do you want to add a little film split to it? Let's see here. I do like, I've been playing around with this new one. So this is Contour from Colin Kelly. And I have been liking, I like to separate out its operations because I like how some of the other tools that I have work versus how it works internally, but I do like how its split curve works because it gives you exactly what you're going for. So we can pick our highlight hue. I don't know about you, but things in California scene, we just crank the split strength so we can see what we're doing. Give it a nice hue, shadows, it's nice. Maybe let's just turn off the high. Give it a little subtractive low. Let's pop that down in there. Yeah, see where that is working for us. We can put on the satin. Oops. Highlight mode. Satin mask. Kind of just take down that. And now we kind of see where it's starting to hit. Starting to hit in. So crank down that satin mask. You can see this is where we're doing things. And then, you know, the one thing you always got to do is turn it up, turn it off, turn it up, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. And yeah, you can see just down here in the shadows, we're making that a little bit of an effect. Just kind of pulling some of the colors around, smoothing it all out, making something that, you know, looks good to us. From here, let's talk about, let's see here, favorites. Oop. see here if we were to pop in and take a quick looksy gander at it. Should be getting some haloing around there. Yeah, you can see it on her shirt. Turn it off. Just kind of gives her a little border, cuts her out a little bit from that. Gives her a little bit more separation off that wood by just. Is that too much? Because we got some crispiness in. Let's take that down a notch. Maybe blend that back a little bit. Very subtle. Very subtle indeed. But it's all art, more zoomed out. It's just there. It's hard to quantify it as much. That you want to just put in a little grain. Soon to fit. There we go. Let's see what that's doing. Right there. Now, great. Oh, all these settings. Let's go with something gritty. It's broken down. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of liking where that's at. We'll just go over here. We'll apply active layer. See what we did. Keep some of those things on this closer up shot. Do we like how that halation just gives a little bit more pop? You can see that in the mesh of the bag. Just gives a little bit more. Look at that. That is something. Yeah, just turn things on and off, seeing how what we did affects it. Playing around, making sure what we did looks good. That's pretty good right there. So we'll just take a break. You can jump in on the next video. We went a little long here. Usually I like to stop around 10 minutes. But yeah, we've made a lot of progress just on giving these two shots a bit of character and feel, and trying to think of outside the box when it comes to a girl with really, really bad breath in the midst of a blackout. Until the next time, this has been the joy of color grading.